Hi and welcome to all the racing fans out there joining us for this pre-recorded show for the Hollywoodbets Greyville Polytrack meeting, which takes place on Wednesday. In studio with me is Dees. We'll bring him in a moment. Let's get straight into race number 1, which is over 1,200 meters, where number 4 Little Cracker is 18 to 10. Number 11 Sovereign Command from 22 to 10 is 28 to 10. Number 12 Captain Frank 4 to 1. 2 Bilingual 6 to 1. Bit of money for number 6 Fine Dining 14 to 1, 10 to 1, and then number 10 Zyphos from 20 to 1 down 14 to 1. Number 4 Little Cracker, I've made my best bet on the card. Now when you look at Little Cracker and Sovereign Command, they've met on 3 occasions and Sovereign Command's 2 up and Little Cracker is going to be looking to reverse it. But Dees, how are you doing and how do you find the card?
Yeah, doing okay, Sheldon. Boxing on as we do on a daily basis, and the card looks competitive. I think the exotics will pay well. I trust that all the racing fans are well looking forward to this previewing this race meeting with Sheldon. Yeah, race number 1. It looks like a race where you're either going to have a big bold stance, whether you like something or you're playing for the result, because there are horses here that seem to be in the right race to get it right, but they're low on confidence. Bilingual, Com Naidu's runner, the horses had 2 runs for Com. They've been fair efforts. You mentioned Little Cracker. Well, he's having his 10th run today, but he seems to have found the right type of field. A horse like, Sovereign Command. Yeah, you mentioned the collateral form lines between the 2, 11 and 4. There shouldn't be much to choose between them, although Little Cracker's got the better draw. And then the unknown in the race is Captain Frank for Matthew and Mike de Kock, will be debuting in the province. And those Gauteng form lines could be good enough to see that horse win. With the scratching of number 3, number 13, if that runs, that will come into draw number 3. And then I like the outside betting support coming through for the lesser fancied of the 2 from the Yogas Governor stable, Fine Dining. And I'll tell you why. Last time out of a 1,600 meters, the horse showed a lot of pace and speed. 1,200 meters with the blinkers on, the claim 2.5. It is an open maiden, a nice low weight on the back. And the fact that that form line is held up well. Act of Grace, a winner. Promise of Fire, winner. Subsequent winner, Sorrow's Winter. So that is an outsider that I'll go each way with here in race number 1. But it looks like a tough race, Sheldon. I know that you like number 4, Little Cracker. You've been chatting to me off air. You've made this one of the better bets on the card. Well, I'm more hopeful than confident, but you seem to be more confident than I am.
Yes, I'm slightly confident, not overconfident at 18 to 10, and I did mention that Sovereign Command has got the number on a couple of occasions. They also met behind Good Living, so it's not a race where you can go all in, but I'm going to go number 4, Little Cracker, to beat numbers 11, 12, and throw number 10, Zyphos, for the quartets.
The start of the place accumulator will be race number 2, 1400 hours, 2 p.m., 1200 meters, class 5 fillies and mares. Let's bring up the field and have a look at some betting. There is some anti-post action here for number 1, Green Light Queen, from 4 to 1 into 3 to 1. Number 2, Illa d'Orange, that is now trading at 3 to 1. Horse number 3, Jane's Vision, is at 7 to 2. Number 4, Mountains of the Moon, at 7 to 2. And horse number 6, On Board, that's a 3 to 1 shot. That's the betting. It's a small field. It's the start of the PA. I like 2 horses for the place accumulator here, Sheldon, and they both come from the form line that Illa d'Orange was the winner. And I'm just going on the weight turnaround. Number 6, On Board, is 3 kgs better off with Com Naidu's runner, and I think we'll have every chance of reversing it. I'm sticking with that form line to possibly be the right form line in the race. So numbers 2 and 6 for me in the place accumulator. I respect the anti-post money for number 1, Green Light Queen, from draw number 1. Jane's Vision, I prefer over 1,000 meters. Mountains of the Moon, I think, Robbie Hill will have to tell us why the huge drop in distance from racing over 1,600 and 2,400 meters, now a 1,200 meter trip. And then Queen of Spear, they punted like they knew the result last time out. How much more left to come? This race will tell us a bit more. And then Ruby Claire showed little out the maidens. 2 and 6 for me in the place accumulator. I think those numbers will be good enough.
Race number 2, I've gone at number 1, Greenlight Queen, a big strong sort with no degree of confidence. Opened up 4-1, now 3-1. I've had a bet on this individual in the past and she's done me well. Down to a 70 in the ratings from the best of the draw. A number of these horses, if you look at the poly form, they haven't won yet. But number 3, Jane's Vision, you mentioned the distance could be a query, a winner on the poly. And then looking at the rest of the field, number 2, Ella de Orange. So Ella de Orange, number 2, and number 1, Greenlight Queen, number 6, On Board. Those are the horses that we will be playing around. And Mountains of the Moon, very interesting. Everything comes off when it comes to the equipment, and we'll try and get a word from Robbie Hill if this horse is going to go the 1200 meter trip on the day. As we move along to race number 3, now if the betting's got anything to say, it's very, very tricky. Number 1, Charms at Midnight, noted as an open maiden, so take note of the structuring of the weights, 33-10. 4, Saudi Sweep, 33-10. Number 5, On Song, 7-2 with number 8, Champagne Problems. Number 6, Peggy Sue Shake, open 9-2, shortened 7-2, and then there's a big gap to my lurker, number 3, Third Winter at 20-1, maybe for the trifectas and quartets. These, when you look at race number 3, being an open maiden and looking at the field, there's 5 runners that you can't separate on the betting.
Yeah, it's tough. I think if you get through with the minimum spend here and the pick 6, you've done well. I think you'll absolutely be a winner. If I play to the rule, which is half the field, then 5 runners should be good enough for the pick 6. But which 5 are they going to be? Number 1, Chimes at Midnight, gets my vote. Draw 1. That last start wasn't the worst behind Queen of the Spear, who we'll see in race number 2. Saudi Sweep, first run for Louis Goosen for the Social Squad syndicate. I think this filly does come into the race with some fair Gauteng form. Number 5, On Song. Atandiwe Nkutla writes this for the stable. So what do we read into that between numbers 1 and 5? Peggy Sue Shake, you mentioned the claim. There's lots of improvement to come from that horse. And then if I'm pushed for an outright choice, it will be number 8, Champagne Problems. Kept a close eye on this filly since she's arrived in KZN. And I liked her last 2 starts. They haven't been the worst. This is not a strong field with all due respect. So an each way play for me, if you're looking for one to have an each way go on, will be number 8, Champagne Problems. Place accumulator numbers, Sheldon, for me will be 1, Chimes at Midnight, 4, Saudi Sweep, 8, Champagne Problems. But if you ask me for a roving banker, it will be 8.
So there we go, number 8, Champagne Problems is the roving banker for D's. I'd throw number 3, Third Winter. I just got a feeling this is going to improve. And if you're looking for another big bomb result, maybe number 10, Cosmic Orbit, a race that could throw up any result. But D's is going with numbers 1, 4, and 8.
Well, we're on to race number 4. It's jackpot 1, 15-15, 1600 meters. We're on the poly track, and let's get straight into it as we bring up the field. Number 1, D-Day, is at 9-2. Then we go on to horse number 6, Jump in the Green Light, at 9-2. Even money now. Even money is horse number 7, Sally Port, strong favorite. And it's double figures the balance. Well, let's begin with Sally Port as the even money favorite. You're going to have to be the judge, racing fans, on what you've seen to date at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, because she debuts on the poly track. She is drawn 7 out of 10, which could be a tricky draw. But where she raced last time out, I don't see a problem with the distance. But is she an even money shot? I'd prefer number 1, D-Day, as an each way player rather. Trading at around 9-2, because Damien Pillay, he's riding with confidence. He had a double at the Twilight race meeting at Hollywoodbets Greyville recently. This filly is drawn 1, or should I say mare. She's got gate speed. She's there for free. I was a bit disappointed, Sheldon, on her last start. I expected a bit better from her. That race was won by the stable Companion. But she goes on the poly track. She's got a 50% strike rate on the poly track. She goes over the distance, 9 starts, 2 seconds, a third, and 3/4. So she will keep you interested on some of her better form lines. And at around 9-2, compared to the even money on Sally Port, I think she has to go into everything. So what I've done here for the place accumulator, I'm going to suggest numbers 1 and 7. I think you'll have every chance to double up here. And then if you're playing it wide in jackpot 1, then 6 jumping the green light and 2 she's a rocket. But the value for me lies with number 1 D-Day. I think things could work out for her. I know she's had many chances, but the way she races from the draw, 9-2 looks attractive.
Well, I can't agree with these anymore. Number 1, D-Day could be the value at 9-2. She's paid her school fees. But number 7, Sally Port, has met some Dean Kennemeyer horses and Mark Miller horses who are going to go through the divisions. So Sally Port at even money, you're going to be the judge. Number 1, D-Day could be the value. And if you like number 7, Sally Port, look at number 3, World of Flowers on the debut. 8.9 lengths behind Infinity Edge. Sally Port was 8 lengths behind, and they are both jumping on to the poly for the first time. So what D's are saying, number 1 D-Day could just be the value with the claim and that number 1 draw. Moving along to race number 5, and here's another race that could produce a big result if you are looking for that result. The betting has number 8, Jazz Cafe at 5-2. Number 9, Skephole is 28-10. Number 6, Pour Some Sugar on Me, 9-2. Kawakazi number 2 is 6-1, and number 1 Skytrex at 8-1 with number 7 Line in the Sky. 12s and better the rest. Now here's a race that I am going the field. Number 8 Jazz Cafe, a 3-time winner on the turf, jumps onto the poly for the first time. I liked her last time as value, 20-1 down, 10-1. She came through with the blinkers on. How she'll go on the poly, only the race will tell. Skephole D's last time came from an impossible position, was absolutely eating up the ground.
Yeah, and watch that replay, racing fans. The way she was quickening up, carrying 61.5 kgs at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, she had to grab your attention that day. If this was 1,600 meters, even though she was poorly drawn this time round, debuting on the poly track, I would have made her a top choice confidently. 1,400 meters on the poly track from a wide draw. Marco van Rensburg has picked up a nice ride here on number 9 Skephole. That is the jockey change that's just come through early Tuesday morning. So number 9 Skephole, all depends on what tactics are going to be adopted from that wide draw, because she's known in Gauteng to have raced up handy and win start to finish. But last time out, she was given a chance by Richard Fourie. So 9 Skephole is the interesting runner in the field, the recently turned 3-year-old. So that's got obvious each-way claims. Place accumulator, Sheldon, 9 Skephole gets my vote. I've included number 3. Little Black Velvet. What price is this horse? Little Black.
12-1.
Yeah, I think that is the value in the race. Don't leave this horse out of anything. With Khaleesi Mbuto claiming 2.5, racing off a net 77. Look at the course and distance record. All 3 wins over the course and distance. I'm not going to read too much into that recent form. I personally think that from the good draw, with the claim 2.5, the fact that she races well over the course and distance, watch for a big bold performance from number 3, Little Black Velvet. That gets my vote for the PA. So 3 and 9, and then I'll include one more for the PA. Another horse that is a poly specialist, and that's number 6, Pour Some Sugar on Me. So 3, 6, and 9 for the PA. I'm just going to include one runner more in the jackpot. And I'm with you on number 8, Jazz Cafe. I think she could go back to back, having watched her win last time out. So I'm going to take a chance here, trying to minimize the spend with 9 runners, 4 runners in the jackpot, 3, 6, 8, and 9, 3, 6, and 9 for the PA, but 3 at around
12.5-1.
That's the value.
There we go, the value number 3, Little Black Velvet, the course and distance specialist. And if you're looking for a big bomb result, number 4, Blue Horizon, a 4-time winner who did win a merit-rated 97 when beating Queen of Love, but is returning off a rest. But keep a close eye on this one in the parade ring.
Well, we're on to the 6th race. Races 6, 7, and 8 is the last pick 3 on the card, and this is a B stakes over 1,000 meters. We bring up the field, have a look at some betting, and race number 6 is like so, Sheldon. Number 1, Mr. Henley, 5-1. 2, Mojo Man, 4-1. 3, Lady of Vix, 9-2. 4 Intrepid 5 to 1, 5 Hit Them Out Sunshine at 7 to 1, 7 Princess Hannah at 28 to 10, and 8 Connery at 8 to 1. So what I'm going to do, Sheldon, is I'm going to paint the picture for you, and you are going to try and work things out. The speed in the race lies with 3 runners. 1, Mr. Henley, that gets the draw, and I know his last 2 starts, he hasn't been the smartest out of those gates, but we know on his day, when he jumps on terms, he's quick. Lady Vix, she's very quick. She showed this at Hollywoodbets Scottsville at a penultimate start. She's debuting, however, on the track, and we'll see how she has to handle it, but she's got a very low weight of 51.5 kg. She'll think she's loose. The other speedster in the race is number 8, Connery, who will have to overcome a wide draw. So the speed in the race between 1, 3, and 8. And then you've got horses that enjoy a good tempo and will be running on. But I haven't seen the conditions on the day. It's early Tuesday. I don't know if there was a headwind or a tailwind, but we'll have to assess the conditions on the day. If it's a tailwind, it could certainly, favor these front runners. But if there's a slight headwind, then I fancy something could come through to fetch them. So I don't know where you're going with this. I am looking at my place accumulator numbers, and I must say I'm not convinced with any of them. But let me hand over the baton to you and see if you can make sense of what I just mentioned.
Well, when I went through the card, we didn't sit together and go through the card. I said the 1, the 3, and the 8, they're going to set pace. But as you mentioned, let's see what the conditions are. If it's a strong tailwind, they'll probably stay there. If it's a strong headwind, maybe number 5, Hit Them Hard Sunshine, or a horse like Mojo Man will pick them up late on. So all in all, it's a very, very trappy race. But if you put me in a corner, probably number 5, Hit Them Hard Sunshine with the 4 kgs off the back. We'll be running at them late, and at 7 to 1 could be an each way play in a very tricky contest. Race number 7, due off at 1700 hours. Is it going to be an Issy Quishy Quishy win, or is it going to be a Rainbow Reward? Issy Quishy Quishy at 2 to 1. Number 8, Rainbow Reward 9 to 2 with number 5, Preemptive Strike. Ibuto number 4, 5 to 1. Number 2, Trippy T 6 to 1. And then number 9, Now I Got You at 7s. Double that and you got 14s and better the rest. Now let's have a look. Number 2, Trippy T, that did run 4th to Princess Hannah, who's done exceptionally well, but returns off a 222-day layoff. Number 4, Ibuto, the class package, an 8-time winner, 105 days off the track. And then we'll go down to number 7, Issy Quishy Quishy. Now this horse has found the number 2 box in 4 out of the last 5 outings. Is this the time the iron's hot to strike?
It looks that way, because you would think that for the place accumulator, this horse will be good enough, knocking hard on the door, no problem with the poly track, just a wide draw to overcome. But the horse is quite versatile in the way he races, so we'll leave that to Sean Veal. Just 2 runners for me in the place accumulator, along with number 7, Issy Quishy Quishy. I think the run of the race will be number 2, Trippy T. Just the way he races, the fact that he's got the draw. Pull out his form lines, you'll see exactly what I mean when it comes to the strength of his recent form lines. There are winners, and Sereno Mundi is going to waste no time. I can see Trippy T turning into the straight in front, and when I look at the horses that will be running on, one of them is number 7, Issy Quishy Quishy. So those are going to be my 2 numbers for the PA, numbers 2 and 7. For the jackpot and the pick 6, with a field of 9 runners, I'm only going to include 2 more horses for that bet, number 4, Ibuto, and horse number 8, Rainbow Reward. But I think the winner should come from 2 or 7. Numbers 4 and 8 are just back up if there is to be a result.
So there we have it. That is a look at race number 7 over the 1200 meter trip. Once again, have a look at them in the paddock on the way down to the start and make your final decision.
Are we on to the lucky last? We should close things off at 6:17:35, 1200 meters, and it's a class 4. Let's bring up the field, have a look at some betting. Horse number 3, Bank Street at 18 to 10, 4 Unicorn Alert at 7 to 2, 5 Imvelo at 5 to 1, and 8 Imoyeni at 5 to 1. it's double figures, the balance. Okay, the first thing I'll tell you, racing fans, is that if you look at races 7 and 8, they're both class 4s. So what the operator did with the high number of declarations, the race was split. Now, if you have a look at both races 7 and 8, it's clear to see that Bank Street has fallen on the right side of the split when it comes to opposition, because I make race 7 highly competitive and more form to work around, whereas race number 8, again with respect to the field, I think Bank Street has found the ideal opportunity when I assess the opposition to go back to back. So what I'm saying, racing fans, is that the horse is rated 68, apologies, from a 64 to a 68. And although that form line hasn't sparked up just yet, just the manner in which he won, I think he's got a fair career here in KZN, with the polytrack being an option. The word from the yard is that he's working well. He's a horse that's come on, and personally, I think if you're running in the exotics, we're going to have to sweat a bit if you're in the camp that I am in. I'm going to bank a number 3, Bank Street, and everything here, Sheldon. I looked at the field. Yeah, you can make a case for a few of them, but this is the strongest case that I can make for a horse. I really like the way he won last time out. He's going to be a banker and everything. Bank Street to bank the cash.
Well, these have summed it up perfectly. Races 7 and 8. If you had to choose which race Bank Street would be in, you wanted to be this race. Had he been in race number 7, he probably would have been 4-1, 9-2. He's found the weaker race of the 2, and that's where lies the rub. 54 kgs. Last time they put the lights out, they collected, they got the truckloads of money, and I agree with you. He's going to be very, very tough to beat, number 3, Bank Street. The interesting runner for me is number 1, Viva Spirit, who is a 91, races off an 80, gets the 1.5 off. Had it been a 1400 meters, I would have been a little bit more confident. A horse who has bled in the past, but if you look at those runs, was running in the average ratings of a 92, 90, so 12-1, that could be the swinger and exacta horse. Number 5, Imvalelo, is worth throwing in, along with numbers 2 and 4. But number 3, Bank Street, you heard it from D's. You put your money down, you take your chances, and that's the horse they got to beat. And number 1, Viva Spirit, to all the racing fans out there, that could be the exacta and swinger play for race number 8. Welcome back for that time of the show where we go on to the suggested bets of the meeting, and I've been brief and sharp, so let's go straight to it. My best bet, race 1, number 4, Little Cracker. Although it's not cut and dried, I believe this is the ideal opportunity for Little Cracker to get it right for Mary Lally. And then you'll note I'm following the same formula, the Tony Riverland camp, Mary Lally and Greenlight Queen, race 2, number 1. I believe she will have the run of the race in a very competitive affair. So I've gone races 1 and 2 early in the day. Hopefully you can make some money. If you don't make money in the first 2 races, watch the race by race preview that I've done by D's. We found a couple of shooties in the pack, and hopefully they come through for you, the punter, the lifeline of the industry, and all the owners, trainers, jockeys, everybody out there. Best of luck, be safe, and we'll catch you at the races.